So you talked about, obviously, the relationship your child has with their phones, but you also talk about the parents' relationship with their phones and how that impacts your relationship with your children. So I'm wondering, how does that conversation look like when it's either between yourself or someone else who is maybe your partner or another adult in your child's life, talking to them about how their relationship with their phone might impact their relationship with their children, and trying to convince them, where you don't have the authority to change another adult's behavior like you might be able to with your child, and trying to get that involvement, get that joy and experience outside of the phone for another adult.
Yeah, I love this question because I often find that when I talk to parents who say, oh my gosh, the teen's so addicted to their phone, they're always on their phone, I almost don't get through the full conversation with those parents before they probably usually pull out their phone or like checking it, right? So I really think, we know from decades of psychological research that there's a phenomenon called behavioral contagion, right? You pick up the behaviors of those around you, and behavioral contagion is worse for your kids who are going to pick up your behaviors. Not necessarily the ones you want, but the ones that maybe you don't like as much. And so I think there's a real conversation to be had about the first step at helping your teen develop better boundaries with their technology is for you to seriously think about your own boundaries with technology, and all the adults that are around kids to do the same thing. I think if you're the adult in a household that has a healthy relationship and your partner maybe is less healthy, I think I would set up the framing not about like, you need to do better, but like, I think we as a family should have conversations about this. And that's a point, I think, to invite your teen to kind of jump in, because teens are very good at pointing out when people are being hypocritical, and if they can give feedback to parents, that's helpful. And I think that what the data show is you don't know how much they're feeling kind of slighted by your phone use, because you can't see it, right? It's like the smiles, you don't see the smiling, so you don't smile back, right? And I think they will tell you. They'll be like, I feel like when you're making dinner, you don't listen to me. I feel like when we first get home, like they will be happy to tell you, especially at a certain age, they will be happy to tell you. And I think that can just start a conversation within a family, right? When you start to feel that there's harm there, we're all in this together, and yeah, all of us have to set these boundaries, and it's hard, right? You have some self-compassion, like this is gonna be tough for us to change our behavior because we're fighting against a device that's been like kind of created to make us do otherwise. But what are our values? How do we wanna kind of navigate this? And again, come up with some shared boundary rules for the home, and give your kids the opportunity to call you out if you're not following them. What I've seen in families that set these boundary rules is usually the first person to break them is not the kid. It's the like I had a work message, I was waiting, or like I just had to check my email, I was really anxious. Like, no, it's your boundary too. So yeah, I think those conversations where everybody's on board and you come up with some shared norms that everybody can agree to can be really helpful.